Hello, everyone. Hi.
Jess, what's up?
Yes, Talin here with you
Streaming.
streaming from our homes, right? Talin, you have a much cooler background than me. I tried my best with my bookshelf.
No, look, it's very, very professional. I wish I could read all those books on your shelf.
Oh, yeah. No, there's some there that you would absolutely love. So welcome, everyone, to Adobe Live with your hosts, Jessica Moon, that would be me, and the lovely Talin Wadsworth.
Hello.
So today we are super excited about our show because we get to blend the two things we're absolutely obsessed with into one, which is Adobe XD, of course, and the awesome new updates that I'll be going over in a second, as well as our favorite new escapism, which is Animal Crossing. Yeah, hype. Oh my gosh, you have the mint and pink. Oh, that's so cool. I have like default, boring, whatnot. But yeah, so yeah, hello everyone, and welcome. Hi from Germany. Awesome, Julia. Shout out where you're at if you like Animal Crossing, if you like XD, whatever. Heck yeah, Animal Crossing. Woo.
Oh, it's so good that we get to combine all of our passions here today on the stream. I'm so excited.
We've got quite fun 2 days with you all. So just real quick in terms of what else is happening after today, we stay tuned for the XD Creative Challenge. And then after that, we will be having a doodle therapy with Alice Lee. So more to come. And then both Tal and I will be with you again tomorrow to continue our XD Animal Crossing journeys.
It's gonna be so good. And we're actually doing a little bit of counter programming today. Because yes, Howard let me know earlier on Twitter that it's Apple's WWDC.
Oh yeah, yes.
So again, if you're tired of the hype, the Apple hype, and you want to geek out with us,
on the Animal Crossing hype,
we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here.
We're gonna be here all day. With us. Yes. All right. So this has been a huge release for XD. I'm so excited about what we're going to show you today. In case you haven't seen it, we always update these on our site with latest features. The newest release has first, big one, scrollable groups, which is huge. And then another one, which is very big, is stacks. And those are two features that we'll definitely be going over quite a bit when we do our Animal Crossing app today. We also have better sharing by being able to switch public and personal with sharing links, some updates on design tokens, as well as additional support for languages, Italian and Russian, all good things.
So many good things. One of my favorite releases.
Absolutely. Stacks and scrollable groups. Those are huge. Scroll groups, sorry. Yeah. And then also, today at the end of our session, we will be doing portfolio reviews. So if you want us to take a look at your portfolio, please go ahead, put that in Discord. We'll have a link there and put them in. We'll take some time, give you some constructive feedback. Honest yet nice. And after that, tomorrow we'll be doing reviews on the XD Daily Creative Challenge as well, which involves designing map experiences using scroll groups to allow users to pan around and see that experience. So, and I see a lot of people in chat have been already making jokes about Tom Nook. Oh, I love it, Santaji. Tom Nook is greater than Tim Cook. I mean, today, I think.
I think
that's deep.
I totally agree with that.
Well, Talin, do you want to kick it off?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I am actually here designing. As you all know, I love live streaming and I love just designing on the fly and just having a good time figuring out myself how best to use these features. I mean, these features are hot off the press. We've got so many exciting updates that, I myself am just trying to figure out the best way to use them and coming up with new ways to do it all the time. And so, we are super excited today because now we get to apply all these new features to a fun little project. And we're looking for some suggestions from the chat today as well. So please, this is going to be interactive as much as we can. Of course, then we'll be, of course, sharing and designing and prototyping and sharing in real time. So we're really excited. This is just my favorite way to use XD is live on the stream. So today we want to switch over to my screen here. We are designing an app, an Animal Crossing inspired app. So I don't know if you all kind of know, if you're into it, you're into it. But one of the best parts about playing Animal Crossing is just the community that's sprung up around it. We have our own Slack channel for Animal Crossing at Adobe. It's amazing. There's so many good things, and sometimes it can feel a little like keeping up with everybody, and trying to like who's got the better designed island. Jess definitely beats me on that front. Her island is amazing.
We have some people on our team who have much better ones than me. I visited Lars's recently, and I was just mind blown. He's got like a city in there. It's insane.
So it's I gotta say, Nintendo, they're amazing. I love them to death, but sometimes keeping up with your friends is a little tricky. Flying to their island is great and it's super fun and interactive, but Jess and I, as we were kicking around ideas for what we were going to design today, we thought to ourselves, well, what if we took some of that vibe of that Slack channel that we have and some of the Reddits and subreddits that we see, that are dedicated to just like sharing, connecting with your friends, kind of seeing what's going on their island. And we thought, well, that's a perfect excuse to design an app in XD. So today we'll be designing the AC Neighbor Finder app for Animal Crossing.
And
so this is a place.
If you don't know Animal Crossing, it's okay. Just assume that everyone is connecting with one another, and you want to just visit someone else's profile and see what they're doing in their alternate universe, and that's it. That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. And so this is like this is a way to kind of dip your toe into the Animal Crossing world. Kind of see the full breadth of what the community is doing inside of Animal Crossing, because it's pretty overwhelming. I mean, this is a game you can kind of do whatever you want, which seems crazy. You want to, collect fish, you want to collect bugs, you want to, deck out your house with all the latest and greatest sort of kitchen gadgetry. You can basically design whatever you want in Animal Crossing. It's just a sort of blank canvas. And so again, it's just fun to see what people are doing, kind of given all the pieces. And it's kind of interesting because in a way it's a very interactive design tool. And we design design tools. So it's very geeky. There's layers of geekiness sort of involved here. It's so meta. It's so meta right now. So, so like, this is just a fun way for us, again, kind of a fun subject matter and a way for us to show off all the great features in XD. So this is where we started. Again, we wanted to create an app where you can kind of find your friends and keep up with the latest updates, from their islands, and maybe even keep track of what's going on with yours. Again, inspired by the community, and there's actually a lot of great interactive tools that we'll be talking about over the 2-day streams that we're going to be inspired by and referencing here. Again, kind of build out kind of a great experience for building community around one of our passions. So here we are. I've got a bunch of exciting pieces sort of going here, and again, this is like our starting point. But again, we want to hear also kind of what you think. When you think about an application like this where you're finding your friends, like what are the big pieces of the application that we need? So be thinking about that. What do we need? What screens do we need to start designing here? What are some ideas? If you were out there looking for your friends, what would you want to start doing? How would you want to, what are the types of things you would like to see about them and their islands and the inhabitants of that island? So here we are. I have XD up and running. I have gone out, trolled around the internet and found a bunch of great assets for us to use today. Plus, I've started designing kind of our own, Animal Crossing inspired design system as well, which might be something we can share later on. And of course, Jess is here with me today. And, we're co-editing inside of this document, which is just still so magical when I see, see other people coming in and designing along with me. So Jess is going to be designing.
I just like disrupting designers in the canvas. So when people invite me, maybe that's why people don't invite me anymore, because they're like, Jess is just going to keep typing random things and disrupting my workflow. So
no, I love it. I feel like I always love this kind of thing because I feel like an improv artist, and I have a bit of a theater background myself. So I love the unexpected. I want to see where your interjections and your tangents lead us. Is the best part. I look at some faces I haven't seen in the stream in a long time.
Yep.
Tim, what's going
Hey,
on?
Tim.
Hey, look, and Ryan's with us.
Hi, Ryan. Ryan is
what's
our
up,
lovely
Ryan?
program manager. He holds us together like glue, like some fine glue. Hey, shout out to you all.
And everyone else, loving the AC theme. Super excited to be with you all. I said, I've missed this. I've really missed sort of interacting with the chat like this.
So lovely.
Very excited.
So
Howard, I know Howard's a big fan too. So
yeah, so we're gonna see some interesting stuff, right? So stacks and scrollable groups and a bit around that.
Yes, let's start there. I mean, let's just start with some of the best things happening, inside of XD today with the latest release. Where do you want to start, Jess? You want to start with scrollable groups? You want to start with stacks?
Let's start with whatever you want, Talin.
All right. Well, so we just released stacks, which is an update to our feature of basically responsive layout. So I've been building out my design system here using padding. And if you're all not familiar with padding's really amazing. I can take like a button here, a component that I've created. So this is my sort of main component here. And I've turned on padding here in the UI on the right. When I have this selected, I can turn on the padding. And this defines basically the layout rules of this component. So as I start to basically customize this component, the component will naturally sort of grow or scale along with the content. So here I can say, this is my button, and I can say sign in. And as I do that, because I have padding turned on this component, it will just maintain all of those layout relationship rules, all the padding, again, around the text object inside of my group. So here, again, what I have is I have a text object. It's inside of a group with a shape.
Ooh.
Once I turn padding on, it recognizes that shape as my background, and it allows me now to maintain the relationship from the text object with the background. So again, as I go in and I customize it and I type it, right, it now responds correctly. And then I can also, if this is a little pro tip on using padding, if you hold down the tilde command, which is the key to the left of the number 1 on your keypad, on your keyboard, you can actually see and actually interact directly with those padding values. So here, I could go and I can define those in the panel. Again, there's all my little values all called out for me. I can have uniform padding, or I can have custom padding for top, bottom, left, and right. Or I can just interact with it just like I can with Repeat Grid, and just on canvas, just scale it by holding down that tilde option. So super handy. So stacks is kind of the next phase of responsive resize.
Santaji is in chat saying, loving this padding thing, brings XD closer to my dream screen design tool, which is very CSS-like.
Yes.
Very observant, very, very, very great point, Santaji. We have been working on these features for a while, and like anything that we work on, there is always a longer term plan of how we're going to add and build exactly to fulfill those dreams. So stacks is definitely that next part to come from this.
Indeed it is. So this is, again, when you have a group or a group or a component selected, you can now see we have the option to stack the elements that are inside of that group. So let's go check that out. So here I have a drop down component, and here I have padding on, but I also want to maybe, if I wanted to say swap the positions, of these two objects without changing anything kind of about the rest of the object and its relationship to the layout, I can turn on the stack now. And as I go in there and I start to drag one of the objects around, you can see the little drop down chevron is actually now flipping from side to side. And this is kind of a very simple example, kind of showing that like you can take two objects, now I can sort of rearrange them. But this gets really cool when you start take like your multiple objects. And here I have my inventory from got some fruit, got some turnips, which need to sell before Sunday.
Oh yeah, yep.
How's your prices today? That actually reminds me, that could be a good idea. You could actually, one of the things we do on the Slack channel is we actually go and see what the prices are.
We do have a daily thread.
The daily thread. It's crazy. So we definitely got to include that. So take a note, everybody. We definitely got to include.
Oh my gosh, do you remember the day that Howard did it and he had some crazy number and everyone was just flocking? All the people in Adobe were basically, Howard, invite me to your island now.
Yes. So that's a good idea. We're gonna jot that down. I'm gonna have like a little list of ongoing ideas here out to the side, and I'm gonna say check friend stock price.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna keep that there as an idea for our app. All right, good. Let's keep that over there. We're gonna have a little scratch pad. Great. All right, so here I have these objects, right? And if I wanted to go in today and I wanted to say I wanted to have a custom arrangement here, and maybe relay these out. Again, this is me in manual mode. I can just move these around and go in there and finesse it and position it correctly. If I go and I turn stacks on, now I can go and actually start to rearrange both either the rows or the columns of this group of objects.
And so if you're unfamiliar with just these two as a whole, right? So we started with padding, which was really to give a little bit more of that spatial relationship to a group or object that you're looking at. And so to think about stacks, really, it's just about now allowing objects to understand where they fit within one another. And so by turning on stacks, you're giving a bunch of objects the ability to know that there are other objects in the same playing field. And so it makes it easy for you to do any sort of swapping like this or adjustment.
Again, I can actually go and do nested stacks here as well. So I can not only arrange these columns, but I could actually turn on stacks for this internal group. And again, this actually, one of the cool things about stacks too, is it's actually picking up on the behaviors that we define for responsive resize. And it's making relationships for you. It's actually kind of auto grouping elements that are like each other. So because I turned on stacks, and I chose to be able to rearrange them the horizontal stack option on, it actually went and created these groups as columns inside of my group. So instead of, again, it's looking at the objects and the way that you've arranged them, and then you're taking that and actually automatically creating some of those relationships for you internally inside of the group.
Yeah, because I don't want to make those groups manually. I'm super messy. I don't do this. So anything that automates that is great.
So I'm going to turn now I have vertical stacks on for each of the subgroups, and then I have horizontal stacks for the sort of main group. And now when I go in, I can go in and swap not only the columns, but then I can go in and rearrange the objects within each of those columns. So super handy. Not only can I do that, but then I can also, keep the padding. So if I was going to duplicate this and add another group into this group, basically what I can do is now actually extend my inventory here, because what I've done is I have little placeholder spaces in my inventory as a repeat grid inside of this group. So now as I go and stretch that out to fill up and give more spaces for my inventory, now I can, that my sort of background automatically is sort of expanding. And so this is me combining kind of all of these responsive layout features together to achieve a really, really dynamic and flexible component.
Talin, this is a very magical set of components and boxes you have going here.
It's very exciting. I feel like I'm just clicking things on and like learning from it and trying new ideas. This is a really, really powerful feature. And this is like what I'd say like the next phase. There's going to be, we have phases in work. There's going to be more of this coming. We're just going to keep building on responsive resize and padding and stacks. Lots more exciting stuff. There are a lot to come here. So what does everybody think about stacks so far? Have you been using stacks? Have you been checking out? You've been doing some cool stuff? You should definitely share it.
Let us know in the chat. And if you have any questions or want us to demo a bit more or kind of give you some other examples, let us know. Happy to show off this all day long.
This is just we are gonna be, well, at least for the next hour and a half.
For the next hour,
Yeah.
How about scroll groups?
Oh my goodness, let's go check out scroll groups. So, one of the things that people love to do in Animal Crossing basically is to, convince new animal neighbors, of course, hence Animal Crossing, to come and be neighbors on your island, right? So in Animal Crossing, you are control. You are sort of the, you know, in control and of the island. Yeah, you're like, you're the mayor. You're the planner. You're the city planner. You know, you're sort of all these things wrapped up in one. You get to you get to design the island itself. And a lot of that is, a big part of that is about attracting animal neighbors with quirky personalities to come.
They're so cute.
They're so cute. They're so good. Actually, here in this, this was my first neighbor, Kid Cat. Here
really?
On the left. Yeah, he was
your first neighbor was. Oh my goodness, I'm so jealous. Really? So cute.
He is great. I can't say that for all of my neighbors, but but again, like one of the cool things about it is you know, if you see what other you can rotate neighbors in and out. You can have them come and stay with you. Sometimes they'll decide to leave for various reasons. Some of them are quite funny why they leave. But you know, one of the things too is you like to see that's part of the island. Like what neighbors does Jess have? I don't really remember. So wouldn't it be cool again if we could sort of, I guess, go to each of our friends' profiles and actually see what neighbors are hanging out and living around. So I thought, you know, this would be a great component, right? But of course, you know, if I had a big long sort of list of these things, of course it would get kind of unwieldy, right? I don't want to take up too much space. So this is actually a great sort of component, you know, a great case for, you know, say creating something like a scrollable group. So here inside of the property inspector now, up here in this section that we call the transform section, which will hopefully have a label on it soon, we have 3 new options here. And these are scrollable groups. And creating a horizontal scroll or a vertical scroll or a, you know, multi-directional scroll is as easy as toggling on that option. And you'll see what this does is it actually now created a container on top of my group of objects. And this is now, it's actually very similar to the UI for scrolling. Actually, it's pretty much the same UI. So now I have these handles and I actually can now change and control the scrollable area. Again, the area that's going to be interactive that my user is going to be able to scroll, you know, put their finger on or use their, you know, keyboard to actually now scroll through this sort of, you know, list of icons here, this little avatars I have. So you can see as I do this, I'm actually now controlling, again, that scrollable area. So let's say, you know, if I had this on a mobile phone, it would be something like this. And so now when I go and I preview it, again, now look at that. That's how easy it was for me to
Magic.
A scrollable group now.
Magic.
Inside of XD. So now I can just scroll through the little list of neighbors that I have on my own. Who's your favorite? Which one's your favorite neighbor?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny you just asked because I was going to do a thing just to be funny, which is the fact that this is Jess's favorite neighbor. Because it's so cute. Although I really also that one too.
He's pretty great. Great.
Cats and deer are definitely the best. So, yeah, absolutely. Although, you know, I did this thing in the Adobe Slack channel for Animal Crossing where I asked like, "Who's your favorite neighbor?" And there was a really interesting turnout of opinions. You know, I tend to go for the very cute ones, but I'm sure there are a lot of people who have their own favorite neighbors and such.
Any of you Animal Crossing fans in the chat? Who's your favorite neighbor? We'd love to see. And hear from that.
Even if you don't, like, you know, these guys are adorable.
These are adorable. Here, and actually, I did something, and again, I did something to sort of set us up today to have a lot of fun, Jess. I actually created a Creative Cloud library full of assets, fun assets from Animal Crossing that we can use to design our app. And so here I've got, again, this full library of assets that I created inside of Photoshop that I can just drag and drop into my design. And here is a bunch of neighbors. And so actually I'm going to drag out my favorite. I actually love.
I disagree on this one.
I don't know why. And actually he's not currently on my island. But I love the idea of the sheep that thinks who's a clown. Like that's
even that teardrop on under
I know. It's so weird. I don't know why.
Look at how organized your library is, Talin. It's very well organized.
I knew that people were going to be seeing it today, so that's why I normally would not be able to do this. Here's who Howard is on the hunt for.
We're all on the hunt for him.
There's Raymond.
Raymond's amazing.
Heterochromia.
Yep.
You can see, and he's a little disaffected.
Yeah.
He's got some ennui. You know, he's some. He's got a very unique personality.
I see some people who are chiming in on their favorite animals. I see a Frida and Marina fan from Sam. Hello, Sam. And we've got Kat. Kat's a big fan. And then, Howard did mention that he's on the hunt still. Lars. Oh, someone from our own team. Lars. Hey, Lars. Coco is quite cute. There are many. Oh, Lisa says, I have Anka. Oh my goodness, Anka's so rare.
That's crazy. Okay, Lisa, we might have to have you in our friend profile. So I'm just gonna quickly capture your friend list because I think we want to be friends with you. You have so many cool.
She has amazing friends.
Really awesome friends.
I have to admit, I don't really love all of my friends. I some of them I don't talk to. And I feel bad because I really should be talking to them all, but I just really don't want to.
There's a lot of pressure, you know. I offloaded some of that. My son is now on the island with me, and he was very diligent, and he remembered Peggy's birthday. We have Peggy as one of our neighbors, and he actually gave her a birthday present. And so
your son's like the neighbor, what do they call it? The neighbor, friendly neighbor?
Yes, he's like the
welcome
neighbor.
Wagon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
welcome wagon. That's what it was.
He's the liaison. So,
That's great. That's amazing.
So again, like we're gonna just again kind of scratch the surface of what's possible with some of these brand new features today. But this is gonna be we're really excited to see what you all are gonna be doing with it. So definitely, if you're doing some cool stuff with stacks or scrollable groups, be sure to tweet it at us on Twitter, and we'll definitely go and check it out. Okay, so I'm gonna have my little scratch pad here. Again, one of the other things I've been doing too, just so kind of everybody knows, is I've actually been creating my own little sort of scratch pad out here of inspiration points, for the UI. Again, there's a very unique and distinct sort of visual language as part of Animal Crossing. And so what I've been doing, whether it's my global color styles or my character styles, or kind of any of the UI elements, I've been sort of trying to use some of the screenshots from Animal Crossing itself to actually kind of define kind of again my system, that I'm going to be applying, kind of throughout the application. So you can see I've already started to create global colors and character styles and started to create some components.
Very
and
lovely.
my components even have some
states
as well.
Ooh.
Already. Look at that, already creating some states here.
Impressive.
So again, just sort of building out this way we can stay consistent. Again, we can then also share this with our team, using document linking, asset linking across documents, as well as live coding, a really great way. So Jess wanted to come jump in here and start designing the screen. She can just start pulling some of these elements and start going and designing. So.
And, there's this interesting conversation going on around Hippo and how someone had ignored them. Stephanie had, and they left.
Oh,
so sad.
Yeah. I love just even the lingo that has grown up around stuff like that on the Slack channel. That so-and-so's neighbor is in boxes.
It's so sad.
It's so sad, but just that lingo, it's so evocative. When they first move in, they bring their boxes and they place them in their house, and for about a day, their house is sort of strewn about with open cardboard boxes, like real life. Yes. I would love to also when we first started playing, Jess would send me an update on Slack. She's like, "Be right back, weeding my island."
Weeding is so cathartic. I'm not gonna lie. Just doing something, and it's funny because then I go outside and I'm like, I don't want to weed in real life. This is terrible.
Yeah, no. Weeding in real life. That's no fun.
Yeah.
I've also created. You can see I have a little distinctive pattern here.
I love it.
And watch. Let's see. I actually got to select the right object here. There it is.
Look at that pattern. Look at that repeat grid. Oh my goodness. Wow. Jeez.
Look at that.
That's amazing.
So cool. Using a little repeat grid and some masks. I have created a ground texture component. Oh my goodness.
Awesome. I love it.
I was even surprised that like this came out like this. Again, I wasn't really anticipating this when I started putting this together.
It's so pretty.
Look at that. It's mesmerizing. It's mesmerizing. And we can terraform inside of XD.
Yes.
It's awesome. All right. So everybody, where should we start? So again, we have our plan here for our app. This is a neighbor finder. This is for us to connect with our friends.
Yes.
While we can't be visiting their islands, we're
going to visit Lisa.
Yes, we're going to visit Lisa for sure. We want to check in on her. Of course, we also want to find new friends. That's a big part of this too, right? We want to be able to find new friends because again, one of the other, I think, downsides of the UI on the Switch is actually finding your friends. It's actually kind of challenging. It's a multi-step process, right? And so, we want an app that I think can maybe alleviate some of that and help us kind of keep track. So, where do we want to start, right? So, what's our path for our user here? What do we want? Kind of a new user. If you were signing in for the first time, right? Like, where do you land? Where do you start, right?
Interesting. Well, so there's my friends and then there's just random people. So I think I want to know who the cool, awesome people are out there. So I want a place where I can see, maybe the list of friends that I actually know and I've had a, exchange with. So like, I always want to know what Lars is doing because he has the most amazing island ever. And I kind of actually just want Lars to give me all those things secretly. Lars, if you're still there, now you know. Because he has everything in this game. But then I also want to know like who, like, in this chat, for example, there are tons of people here who are fans. And I would love to know like who's there, like who's doing all this stuff. I want to see all those things. Aaron says, could you have a dashboard of suggested friends? Oh, maybe based off of your own interests or something? Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That'd be super cool.
Idea. Yes.
And it's there's a little Easter egg about that Aaron who just suggested that.
Oh,
I don't know if you noticed her. She included her.
I did.
Her name, her previous name. Hello, Erin. That's my sister, everyone.
Oh.
She is at home today. Actually, she's actually going to have a baby soon. So she's been hanging out at home.
Congratulations.
So great to see you in the. Yeah, she's my younger sister, everyone. Yeah. So.
Very cool.
Ooh, you know what? What's kind of interesting about based on my interest thing. What if the app like asked you like which neighbors you are interested in? Because how each of the neighbors have like really unique personalities.
Yes.
Like they're they could be again like if you're kind of more of a Raymond, then it connects you with these people. But if you're more of a Peggy, we're to connect you with these people.
I see.
Or
that's interesting, right? Like I'm curious why Howard really wants Raymond. I mean, I know why a lot of people want Raymond, but Howard, if you're still in the chat lurking, I would like to know why. Is it how he looks? Is it his personality? But based off of those like sort of tags and attributes, you could basically find whatever you want there, right?
Yeah. There's this actually, I'll have to pull it up later. I found this website. Okay, I've been going deep on Animal Crossing. Just, as you do. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Oh, no,
look at all those textures.
Okay, that wasn't the window though. That wasn't the one. Where's the other one? Let me see. Yeah, I've got so much cool stuff headed your way, everybody, if you're into Animal Crossing. So I found this site right here that actually is a guide to all of the neighbors.
Ah, yes.
And I love it.
It's great.
It was hard for me even to like fathom. I'm actually really new to this whole Animal Crossing thing, so I really had like no idea.
Like the money tree thing. Good
hack. Yeah. Like there are lots of things again, like you learn through the community, and like part of this is like I had like no idea that like all the different types of neighbors that were out there. Oh, there's Raymond, of course, right?
By the way, apparently Howard's just said that he really just wants a nerd because he's a nerd.
Oh,
I guess I guess
Is Raymond
Howard's
a nerd?
glasses and Raymond's glasses kind of look similar.
See, I was gonna say, like, I thought that was something, yeah, something about about the glasses. Yes, yes.
I would like to see a photoshopping of the two in an upcoming stream, please. That would be very interesting.
Let's get on that.
You know, my favorite, actually, now that you're looking at the dogs, I was going to say my absolute favorite neighbor, he's kind of my spirit animal. He literally in my Slack message at work is a thing from him, which is Walker. Now I have to like look up my thing real quick, but I have a phrase that's just like my constant status on Slack, which basically says, play hard, snack hard, yell woof hard. And I'm just like, this dog is amazing.
Catchphrase. It's this catchphrase right there.
I love it. I love it.
See that if you came in and you know you had a choosing thing, you're just like, oh, you know, I like Walker. That's who I'm attracted. Then that would, you know, connect you with other possible friends that are also big Walker fans. That'd be super
huge.
Cool. That'd be super cool. That'd be super cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and if you, as you can see, like they all have like personality types. Where's his personality type? Oh, his personality type.
He's lazy. Okay, I can vibe with that. Yes.
So good. Okay, so that's so the first screen you're going to see when you come in to the AC Neighbor Finder, the first intro screen after you've sort of like you've given in your information. The first customization screen is who is, you know, what?
Who are you? It's like a horoscope almost, right?
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay. Let's do that. And then,
so
of course,
is it who's your favorite neighbor or
yeah.
Okay, I like that. That's great. So for you, what's the clown's name?
Pietro. That's also one of the other things I love about him is his name. That's
amazing.
Pietro.
Okay. So it's kind of like a little sort of profiler, persona builder.
Yep.
And then, so what happens next? So you insert that information and then it lands you on a list of suggested friends.
Yep.
Okay. I like it.
Suggested friends. Okay.
And then I want, you know, what's really actually hard about that game is, the exchange between friend codes and then the dodo code generation and being able to visit the island. So for those of you who don't know the game, basically if I wanted to visit Talin, which I have several times, because he's got fruit that I don't have.
She showed me the ropes too. She gave me a ladder before I even had the recipe for a ladder.
Animal Crossing people help Animal Crossing people out. So yes. And so you can, what's hard though about that is that I had to text Talon and say, hey, I need your code for the Switch. And then I said, I needed your dodo code for the island, because then you have to fly to his island. It would be nice if once you found the people, it just had it there in a really simple way.
Ooh, yeah. So when you added them, right? Then
like it would just add them in the actual thingies, you know?
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Yeah.
Like if this was actually like connected to that.
Yeah,
so you just
like I had a button.
And then boom, it's okay, good.
That'd be magical.
So first screen is, who's your favorite neighbor? Okay, yes. All right. So that's our first screen. So then I'm just gonna quickly grab this element here. I'm going to turn off scrolling for a moment, and we're going to actually have something even better than that. Let's leave that there. I have more fun assets for us to use here.
And while he's digging through the assets, just so you see at the bottom of your the window, we do have portfolios coming up to review in a little under an hour. So make sure that you hop into the XD Discord under portfolio reviews and submit your portfolio today, so Talon and I can take a look and give you some feedback.
Yes, indeed. One of the best things to do is to chat with other designers, check out their work.
I love looking at people's work. It inspires me. I'm just always, it's great. So yes, the more portfolios, the better. We'll try to get through as many as we can.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
What if we had like a little lineup? What if they were in like a little lineup?
That's adorable. I love it.
Yeah. We can use scrolling here too.
That's so cute.
It's gonna be fun.
Wait, is it wait. Actually, okay, this is good. I have a random idea. I don't know if it's good or not.
Okay.
You could also use your really adorable green background thing, hovering art director. Here I go. If you put it there and then pan around and kind of find the neighbor that you want, because they're like all on the same lawn. What do you think?
That's cool.
Because then you just kind of like in this open Animal Crossing field, and you're just panning with our new scroll group.
Oh my gosh. Jess is blowing my mind here.
And then you can find Pietro. You can see Walker. I love Walker. Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna pick up a little styling cue.
Okay.
From Animal Crossing itself.
Very nice.
Right. This little.
Who is your favorite neighbor? Love it.
Yep. Okay. Here like this, and of course we need this little. I always have this little label here.
Yep.
Okay, and then each of these is going to need a little. We're going to grab the button component, and we're going to make a variation here.
All right.
Of this button component to do their names.
Okay.
So I think I might make a state is what I might do. Let's just try that. Okay, so I'm going to make this is the default state of my button, but I'm going to make a new state on. So I have the main component selected, the one that's going to send out all the rules to all the other components that I copy from this, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to say this is the nameplate variation.
Ah,
right.
Nice.
So the nameplate variation is going to have the background color of the nice sort of, pleasing off-white.
Yep.
And the name is going to be the darker one.
So it's nice and high contrast, easy to read. I like it.
And then of course it's already got padding turned on. So now when I copy and I make a copy of that main component, now what I'll be able to do over here, I'm going to put Pietro right here, and then I'll swap to the other component, the other state, and then I'll just say Pietro.
Nice.
Right there.
Excellent.
All right. Cool. Okay. There's Pietro now. Okay. And then
I don't know the name of these other.
What is
There's
the name?
so many neighbors. I don't know.
To the list. Let's go to the list. Where did it go?
I have no idea. There's so many neighbors. The community's huge.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the mice. Why isn't it finding mice? Mice.
There you go. Oh, I have Dora, the first one. He's my neighbor right now.
Oh yeah,
You would like him, Talin. He's totally into Japanese culture. His whole inside has beautiful like kimonos and other things in it. He's very zen. He's a very zen mouse.
Oh, that's Bettina. I forgot. Hold on. Let's go back to my library. I actually named them all already.
Oh.
That's Bettina. I forgot. I totally forgot.
Nice.
There's Bettina. Very good.
That's an interesting outfit. Are they a chef? Kind of looks like they're a chef or something.
She might be a chef. She might be. What did her profile say? Let's go see what her profile said.
Oh my goodness. They're so cute. And Alex Bettina says that they like the dog Victor. He's a mummy. Fun fact.
He's a mummy. Why is he a mummy though? I love that.
Well, there's a funny thing. I think it's not proven, but everybody thinks that Victor is Walker's twin spirit, but mummified, and that it's really Walker underneath there. It's an urban legend, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. It actually reminds me, I've been watching What We Do in the Shadows.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But so I guess in vampire lore, it's about vampires who all live together in a very, kind of mockumentary style thing. But one of the vampires, apparently they meet their souls, because apparently the vampires don't have their souls, and their souls are actually a separate entity now. And the one vampire, her soul comes back, and then they hit it off really well, and then she decides to hang out as a marionette doll. So now she's like her other part of her soul is now living with her, reincarnating this doll. It's very creepy, but quite funny. Okay, let's see. Bettina has official. She's official. So she's not a chef. She likes official uniform clothing.
I see. I see.
So she's official. We should make some notes here, because we probably want to tell you about. We probably want to pull that information in and tell you when you select your.
This is the kind of. Yeah. These are the traits. I like it.
Yep. Yep. These are the this is going to be the neighbor trait screen.
Okay.
Sort of the confirmation screen.
Oh,
right?
This is the type of person.
Yeah.
That
Is
you
this
are
is this
bonding
you?
with?
Yeah. Is this
Okay.
you?
All right. All right.
Right. And then there's going to be some kind of button here. It's going to say.
Cool. And so first screen, they land on this page. I get to pan around. It's a bit of like a Where's Waldo experience, and they're going around looking for their animal.
Yep.
It'd be really interesting later. I don't want to shove too many features in here, but
Mm-hmm.
it would be really interesting to hear them say a thing. Like,
Oh my God.
because they say the funniest things. Like they say like,
so good.
and so you click on one because you don't know who they are just yet, and then they just say a little thing that's kind of that shows their personality a little bit. Because that taco on that octopus on the bottom, he looks hella grumpy. Like what's he gonna say to me?
Yeah.
Is he gonna just tell me something mean? I feel like why is he wearing a gold shirt? Oh my goodness, that's funny. Meanwhile, the little squirrel to the left of him,
Mm-hmm.
she's not gonna say anything mean. She's just adorable.
No, she's not going to. I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we've got to go. We got to go find some audio files. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's just like blowing my mind right now. That's going to be amazing.
Hey, funny side story about audio. So when we released audio and then we started doing the playbacks, I just started looking for random audio clips, and I don't know if anyone on the chat has done this with this feature yet, but I would just sneak in audio clips into like files, whether they were co-edited files that people invited me to that they shouldn't have, or if it was my own. And so you just kind of be like testing the prototype out, and then suddenly you click on a thing and start like howling at you.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That sounds great.
If you want to troll your coworkers,
trolling
just
your
ask
coworkers.
them to be in ask them for an invite to your doc, and then just go into their thing and just lace in audio clips at random. It's gonna be really great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. Having Pietro on there is kind of a Rorschach test, right? Like it's
it's like, why did you pick him?
yeah. I love it. Okay. Let's actually make that. Let's just test out that little scrolling action, like you're scrolling around the island.
Oh yes. Let's check that out. Group.
Okay. Let me group. So to make the scroll, I'm gonna group all of these together, and then I'm going to use the multi-directional horizontal vertical scroll.
Easy, one click.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Now let's go test it out.
Howard, note to self, never invite Jess to talk. Too late, Howard. I'm in your docs.
This is so cool.
Look at that.
Oh my gosh, I love this so much. What does everybody think about this? This is shaping up even better than I expected. I knew this was going to happen when we got together, Jess. We started working on it. It was just going to get weird, and that was just going to make it all the better. Yes. I think what we want to start doing here is maybe quickly jump to our audio playback idea, even though we don't have the audio right now. Mm-hmm. Actually, again, we can turn these into stateful objects, right? Yes. That have interactions with them, that have a state that when I press on it, I can see the little like catchphrase pop up. Mm-hmm. And then it'll play back an audio at some point. We'll get that in there, but we should actually maybe take a quick stab at that, because I think that would be fun to sort of add in here. So now as you're scrolling around, we can show when you click on one, this happens. Okay, mm-hmm. let's do that. Let's pop out of here real quick. Lisa is amazing. Lisa, you're like with us all the way here. She's I love this so much. Tangent inside of this CC library here. I have albums. KK albums.
Yeah.
Covers.
Yeah.
Right. So
your son plays together, right? Do you two listen to the concert together?
No, we haven't actually. We did not. We haven't had it yet. We haven't done the concert yet.
Yeah. Sometimes on Saturday nights, like Matt and I will tune in and we'll just listen to it and just kind of, it's like a free concert. It's great.
Maybe it's like a multi-step. You choose your neighbor and then you choose your favorite KK song.
Your favorite KK song. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, well we're gonna leave this here. Yeah. Little side thing.
So again, for the people who are not familiar with this game, so in addition to all the neighbors you can have, there is actually a celebrity in the game, a musician named KK Slider. That's him in the album cover, the little dog, and he puts on a concert every weekend. And you can just join it and listen to him. You can pick a song, dealer's choice. It's great. And it's very enjoyable. He's got some good tunes. Mm-hmm. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Must have been super fun designing these album covers.
Oh, it's so much fun. I bet they had and designing the neighbors too. I love that. Okay, we're going to leave this. This is going to be like our step 2.
Ooh, that's cool.
Little carousel.
Yes.
Okay. Yep. We're going to do like a little KK carousel thing here. Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. Okay. Let's go and let's turn these into components now. Okay, so what I probably want to do here, and I'm kind of thinking ahead. I'm thinking about some of the different states that I might need here, and I definitely want a speech bubble to pop up for each of them, and then I also want the probably the nameplate or something to change, or just have some kind of again again, we want to show that you've selected this and it wants to be pretty deliberate. Yes. So we want to, give you some visual cues to say, yep, you've selected this one. And then there's probably also some kind of confirmation, but we'll get there in a second. So what I'm going to do is just ungroup this for a second. Okay, let's go here to Pietro.
Oh, I just learned that KK comes to your birthday. That's cool. My birthday is coming up. I am going to be on the lookout for that.
That's so fun.
I want to see this happen. I'd like a special. I wonder if you'll sing happy birthday.
I love it. Okay, so we need a selected state for our component here. So actually here at this point, what I might do is this might be its own discrete component, or should we have it connected with the button as well? That's a good question.
Well, we can always go back and change it later. I mean,
let's go. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Let's start here. Okay. So we're going to go back to our button. There's a really handy shortcut that if you're on a component, when you have it selected, you can say edit the main component, and it'll actually take you back to the component that that instance is linked to, and then you can now edit it, and any edits you make here, any changes you make here will then be synced with the copy of it back where you were. So we are going to create a new state. I'm going to call this selected. Okay, and for selected, I think I was kind of using this purple as the selected, sort of state here.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's try that. Let's try. Okay, let me make sure I'm on my selected. I'm going to dig in here, and then I'm going to apply that as a border, and I'm using 3.
It's always so fun watching other designers design. It's like, wow.
It is. It's always that's how we all learn, really.
That was a blazing fast right click. Let me add border. Your actions per minute are awesome.
All right. Well, that's gotta get the gaming. Gotta keep it honed. Keep the skills honed.
Indeed.
For the gaming. Okay. So then here, and we're gonna go and say Pietro as well.
All right.
Boom. There we go. See, when it's selected, it's just gonna do its little thing. Okay. And then we want to and group that Pietro together here, and we're gonna make a Pietro component using Command K.
You don't hear that too much in Animal Crossing Twitter. We're gonna make a Pietro component, everyone.
Yes.
He's going to be dynamic.
He is. He's gonna be great. Actually, this is gonna be really cool, because actually what we'll do after we make this main component is we're gonna go and we're gonna copy it, and then we're going to replace with the other models from the other characters. And
excellent.
That way we will be able to just kind of apply this across the board.
Yes.
With just kind of one main component as our reference point. So Pietro is our model here, and we're going to make a new state, and this is going to be basically the selected state. as well. And when we dig in here now, again, I can toggle back and forth between those. And because I haven't changed anything yet, it's a little tricky, but you have to make sure, again, you have the right thing selected. And then as you come in here, again, now I can say, oh, I'm just going to easily swap that to selected. Look how easy that was. So when I go back out here, again, I've got that again, it's very subtle now. We're going to have something bigger.
Stateful navigation there.
Nested states.
Nested
oh my
states.
gosh.
That's amazing.
So cool. Okay. And then we want to do his, what does it look like when they have their speech bubbles? Do they have little speech bubbles on top, right?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
I should look at my phone to see what.
Look.
As I take a lot of screenshots of them because they say funny things. Like one time I took this whole screenshot of this kind of Truman Show sort of commentary that one of my neighbors gave. And so, I don't know actually.
They do have them. I'm trying to see.
Oh, it's below. It's below.
It's below?
Yeah.
Or no, remember when you're like walking around on the island and you're texting with each other? Well, it appears above their heads, right?
Can you see that? I don't know if you could see that. I think you can't. It's definitely below though.
No, there it is. There it is right there.
Yeah.
So it's there it is. That's it right there. Yay, internet.
Oh, I see. Yes.
So what I like to do, again, I like to use this as my reference. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to drag this in. Again, I like to have all my references
there you go.
on the pasteboard.
Yep.
Right?
It's like a little mini mood board.
Yep. So essentially we've just got a little oval and a little thing there.
Yep.
So let's
And yes, Cornell, we are having much fun doing this.
This is so much fun. Oh my gosh.
Show off components and scroll groups and talk about Animal Crossing. I don't know how much better it can get.
Wow, it's amazing.
It's so awesome.
Okay, so now I'm going to double click in here. And in this component, again, because I have this new state,
yes,
I can actually create, again, and add any new element to this state. So we are going to do that and that.
Oh my gosh, Talin, so pro. Eye drops, shortcuts galore.
That's pretty good. I am, as many of my colleagues here will know, they definitely know me as the non-shortcut person. So
I live by shortcuts.
I will take some praise for using shortcuts.
You're on stream using shortcuts like breathing. It's great.
I know. Look at that.
It's great.
It's not that I design XD and XD every day or anything. So, yeah.
What?
Okay. Do we know what is Pietro's? Okay, we gotta go find out. We gotta go find Pietro's.
I mean, I guess you don't know because you don't have him.
I don't have him yet. Oh, I'm so sad. Don't remind me. That's.
I'm not reminding you. He's right there. You don't know what he's saying in his empty thought bubble.
He's just a reminder. If anyone has Pietro in boxes, please let me know.
Santi would like to know what eyedropper shortcut was just used right now. Mr. Talin.
Oh, the eyedropper? What did I? I used So when I have an object selected, this could be text, it could be an object, it could be many objects. If I click if I just hit that will bring up the eyedropper for me, right? I
see the eye association.
Yes.
Thinking face.
Very good.
Yes.
Howard's saying he has to go prepare for his stream, which you should all stay tuned for because
absolutely
that guy is a pro. Howard, do both. Just just keep it on in the background, check in on it. Yeah.
I want a little bit of Howard hovering art director here. That would be great.
Lisa, you have Pietro's card? Wait, does that mean I can come and visit your island? How can we make this happen, Lisa? Let me know.
You need to make this app, clearly.
Okay. Or again, the other thing I also like to use is that's why I keep the assets panel open pretty much while I'm designing. That's like my go-to, my jam. So again, this helps me stay consistent because later on, if I want to go and tweak this off-white color, again, when I go and I change it, everywhere I've used it will change.
Look at that global change. Magic.
That's one of
those
those
terrible
things,
orange. Yeah,
that was a bad orange. That's just like one of those things I think that as you kind of get more and more used to walking, working and designing all the time, that using something like the assets panel to kind of help you stay consistent is one of those things you just kind of do automatically from the very beginning. Again, but it really does help you later on, because again, you're in a very dynamic environment, and you know, you're gonna be changing things on the fly all the time as you're iterating, coming up with new ideas. And so it's a really handy way for you to kind of, if you start working with the assets panel from the very beginning, it just helps you stay in sync and just helps you, design at the speed of thought. So yeah. Hey, Ramez, thanks for joining us.
Indeed. If you are just joining us now, we are making a Animal Crossing inspired app in XD and showing off some of the new features that just got released on June 16th, including some of the big ones being stacks and scroll groups. So yes, and also 30 more minutes left. If you have a portfolio, we're going to review it in 30 minutes. So make sure you hop on Discord. Portfolio Reviews is the channel to put your amazing portfolio in.
All right, so this is amazing. This makes me solidifies my love for PHO.
Flashy, smug. How does this solidify his look?
And the catchphrase, honk honk, right there.
Oh, that's great.
There it is.
Honk honk.
Honk honk, everybody.
Oh my goodness. Does he say it? Or I mean, does he like hit his nose? How does that happen?
That's a good question. I want to know.
This is one colorful neighbor.
I love this neighbor. He's the best.
Those are some dazzling colors, actually. This is a great color palette for a Pietro.
I love it. I love. All right. So look at that. We've just created a little component here.
Excellent.
When you're scrolling around, and you click on Pietro. Boom.
Hong Kong.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. It's great.
This is so good. This is so good.
Yes.
Wow. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. This is looking so good.
Talin's nerding out right now. Hardcore.
Okay, so watch. No, this is gonna be okay. So here we go. Now, let's go wire this up because I want to test this real quick.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got our component. We've got these two states, right? Now we're going to go over and wire this up in prototype mode. And what's so cool about components and states is when you go and you define the interaction, when the user clicks on Pietro, go to the selected state. Now, every time I go and reuse that component, that interaction is going to be just built right into the component. It's super powerful. Okay, so here I am. I've now switched over to prototype mode. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define the interaction between these two states. So I am going to, usually I could basically use the wire here. And if I was going to another screen, I would, drag and drop the wire and I would connect them and say, when you click on Pietro, take you to the next screen. But that we're not ready quite for that phase yet. But here inside of the property inspector in prototype mode, I'm going to add an interaction and I'm going to say tap transition, which we're just going to use a basic transition. We could do auto animate. Auto animate might be cool. We'll go back to that in a second. Again, we can tinker with this later. And when we do it, because we're doing it on a component, it'll automatically update to all the other components that we copy from it. So we'll just keep simple transition right now. And we're going to choose the destination. So what is this going to transition to? We're going to go to our selected state on this component, right? And we're going to say, all right, we can define our easing and our duration. Great. Let's go try this out real quick. Let's go test it out. So here we are. Oh, first, actually, let's put them back in the scroll group. All right. Let's kind of put Bettina over here. We're going to put Roll over there. Going. And boom, look at that. Okay, so now scrollable groups, what I've done is actually, I didn't even group them first. All I did was I had them multi-selected, and over here in the property inspector, I just clicked on scroll, and now I have these handles, and this will give me my area that I can scroll around in. Yep. So I go here. Oh, Bettina got left out of the group. It's kind of cool. Okay. Here we go. Let's try it again.
And that's what preview window is for.
That's what the preview window is for. There we go. Now we've got everybody. So now when we click on Pietro says Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
That's amazing.
Wow. Of course, we'd also probably have to go in and actually what's cool is we can keep this preview window up. and we can go into project mode. We can go back
Mhm.
here to Pietro. We can go to selected. Again, I have an interaction already on the default state to the selected state, and I can go to the selected state. I can add an interaction. I can choose transition, and I can go back to the default state, right? So now I have, and then I can test that in real time.
Ah, yes. Lovely.
Boom. Honk honk. You may
That's
want to put
amazing.
that purple border around there too.
So you can
just
kind
to-
of
just
see the
like
overlaps.
yeah, let's go do that real quick.
Yeah.
Back to design mode. Here. Apply as my border.
I think it's great that we've been doing this for an hour and we're not even at the part yet where you find anyone. It's almost like an Animal Crossing app to find yourself first. It's like, what kind of animal am I? Why do I love walkers so much?
That's the most important part. That's really what Animal Crossing does for you, is it really helps
True.
you figure out who you are. I mean,
yeah.
really, come on.
There you go.
Oh, this is so good. Okay, now we're ready for some more mind blowing. I'm gonna do this real. This is because we've got this now. I'm gonna finish out this page real quick.
All right.
By actually, I'm gonna set these aside for just a minute, because watch this. Okay, we're gonna go back to the default state. We're gonna copy this over here. We're gonna open up our library again, okay, with all our fun little models here. And then watch this. I'm just gonna drag rolled over like that.
There it is. Did you see that swapping? Amazing.
That was amazing. I'm gonna say this is roll.
So I don't have to make the same thing over again?
Oh, no. It's so cool. Okay, I'll go selected here. Oh, but I do have to swap out. I do have to swap out rolled. Here, hold on a sec. Let's go back to the default state. We need that syncing.
Aww. Yep. Ta-da.
Rolled doesn't say Hong Kong, so let's go see what rolled says here.
He's got very big black eyes. His eyes are just staring at you. I feel like I'm being stared at right now.
Oh, hold on. I got this amazing image of Rolled that I was going to include in.
I mean, no matter where I go right now, he's looking at me.
This was something that I was going to save for the feed. Oh, where is it now? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I've got this amazing. The reason I love Rolled is because of this like one image I saw of him that made me instantly fall in love with him. And he's just sitting on the ground, staring off with his big dark eyes, and he has an orange perfectly balanced on top of his head.
Oh.
He's just sitting there.
He's got some deep, he's definitely looking. I can't not lock eyes with this little character.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let's go back here. We need to find, how do we get back to the penguins? Where are we? We're stuck here. Okay, hold on. There we go. We want penguins.
Yes, Stephanie, Rolled stares into your soul. I do feel like, in addition to making this app that's now becoming a what kind of animal crossing person are you, I also feel like my soul is being penetrated by this little penguin.
Okay, here's about Rolled right here. He's a jock.
He's a jock?
Apparently.
Really?
Apparently. And his catchphrase is buddy. He's like Pauly Shore for any of you 90s kids.
Oh man.
So now I'm gonna start thinking of
This is amazing. I would like this app. This should be real. Someone should make this because I would just have a field day. It's just so good. Yes.
Okay, who else do we had? We had Bettina on here. Okay, let's do this. And let's drag in Bettina.
Chris, what did I just come into? Welcome.
Oh, if only you knew.
Oh my goodness. We are having way too much fun making basically a personality checker out of Animal Crossing characters.
Animal Crossing personality checker.
First, you have to find yourself, and then you can find other people.
And then you can find other people.
Pretty much.
That's amazing. Oh, I love it.
20 more minutes, everyone. Get your
20 more minutes. Portfolios.
Mm-hmm. So is Rold smiling? I can't tell. No, right?
No, I don't think so.
He's just staring at you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's just staring.
Yeah.
Uncomfortably sometimes.
What am I thinking of? Those objects that that look like they're always looking at you. It's like when that thing at Disneyland is in the Haunted Mansion where it's like this statue, and no matter which way you go because of the optical illusion, it's just always following you. This is Rolled for me right now. It's like I can go in either direction.
Anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's normal personality, whatever normal means. But Eekers. Is that with an exclamation point or not?
No,
what does everybody think? No.
No. Oh wait, actually that's kind of awkward. Because if you put the period there, it feels like she's judging you, right? If you put the exclamation there, it sounds like she's really concerned or surprised. I mean, what is normal? Is normal to just judge, or is
she's kind of preppy, I guess, a little bit. So maybe she's judging.
Look at that side bang, you know.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. So we got Bettina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and who else did we had? Octavian.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, he's so fussy looking.
He is.
Why is he wearing a shirt that says gold? I don't know.
I really don't know.
Mm-hmm. Talin, why is Pedro so big?
He's
abnormally big.
We'll scale him down a little bit.
Okay.
I'm not tipping my hand.
No.
We'll get there.
All right. So components with states.
Components with states. Look at this.
Look at that. Swapping, using libraries, getting all these lovely critters onto your canvas, and scroll groups. Amazing.
What is his?
What is he? He's an octopus.
He's an octopus.
Yes, of course.
Which are some of the weirder neighbors, to be fair.
Yes.
He looks very sassy in this image right here. He's cranky.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
He is judging you. Is judging you.
That pun. He says sucker?
Sucker.
He's an octopus. This is great.
That's some real shade right there.
Oh man.
Right there. Okay, we had one more, didn't we? We had one more.
Did we?
Yeah, yes. We had Poppy.
I see. Oh yes. Poppy's adorable.
Poppy is adorable. See, look, we have a really good range, I think, of options here.
Yes. Wow, I'm still not over that pun. There are a lot of really funny puns in Animal Crossing. Ever tell you I caught a koi fish and then I took a screenshot of it. I was gonna send it to Koi.
Oh, that's so good. That's so good. They do. It says something funny, doesn't it? It says it's pun when you catch it.
Yeah. I need to look it up now. I always try to take screenshots of the funny. Oh yeah. It says, I caught a koi. I don't know why it's so shy or such a bad speller. I love puns. Design puns are the best. If you have a design pun, I will use it so much.
Her catchphrase is nutty.
Nutty.
But I think it needs like a, she would definitely do like an emoji with it, right?
Yes.
Yes. She's modern.
Is that it?
That's what she's modern. That's what it says.
Modern animal has uses.
Oh no, she loves favorite clothing. Her favorite clothing is modern.
Okay. I mean, what is she wearing?
She's not wearing in this one. She's not wearing. I guess she's wearing embroidery in that one.
This is pretty cute, like a boho kind of thing. I like it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go test this out. We've got, let's go test out our scroll area.
Yes.
So he's going to be lurking. Pietro's going to be lurking out here.
Yes.
Just want to help you hunt around.
All right.
Okay, and then I'm just going to, again, I'm the scrollable groups. Here we go. Boom. Look at this. Okay, so now I have these handles. This is where I'm going to be able to scroll, and then it's going to also do the mask where the things are outside of the scroll. And then I'm going to test this out.
Here's where it comes together.
Oh, then. Oh my gosh, look at that. I have both interactions just built right in. Honk honk. Octavian judging you, rolled, staring deep into your soul.
Yep. Look at that. Oh my goodness, you click on him and he says sucker. Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
This is so good. This is so good.
Yes.
I'm going to just be honest with everyone. I was hoping this was going to be fun, but I didn't expect it to be this fun.
Oh man.
Okay. All right. So we've got the selector.
I like how you just keep clicking on Pietro. He's like totally your favorite.
He is. He's so good. So I'm gonna actually add. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in here to this group, and now that I've got it defined as a scrollable group, what I can do is, we're gonna definitely want to hear your feedback on scrollable groups. But for now, what I'm gonna do, this is a feature that didn't quite make it for this release, but you're able to basically create kind of the full kind of like area that you'll be scrolling in. Again, this is kind of a feature that we're sort of concepting and working on. But what I've done right now, I'm just going to use a basically transparent object, just kind of like flesh out and kind of give me like that full sense that there's like the whole canvas is sort of being scrolled around. So now when I go and test this out, it really feels like there's a lot out there for me to explore.
Yep.
Right.
And there you have it.
There you go.
So let's see. To recap, we just made components. We added states. We have been using all the global colors in the assets panel. We have a CC library full of all these lovely characters. We used a scroll group to basically have all of these components come in with their states and pan around, and showed you some pretty neat workflow tips on swapping different images around, using states in some masterful ways, using that fancy eyedropper tool to get some of those quick keyboard shortcuts in. Very lovely job, Talin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. This is turning out so fun.
We need one of these in real life.
We do. We really do.
It's true.
Cool. So I guess now that we want to have, again, some kind of, we want to have a screen where we definitely want a screen that actually we take some of that personality information.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to do.
So Pietro is, you're going to click on this and then it's going to tell you that what was his disposition? It was that he's cranky or
he's cranky. He's cranky, I think.
Or something. Forgot already. But yes.
There we go. Let's go check him out again. I should have taken a screenshot of him as I am.
You can now.
Yes, I will do this now.
So,
he's smug. He's smug.
He's smug.
So
smugness, huh?
Now, see, I don't know how that reflects on me, but I can like that without necessarily being that.
Yes, true.
If I were identifying, this is asking me who my favorite neighbor is, not even how I describe myself. If I would have to probably describe myself, I would probably, if there was a neighbor like me, I had to think about that. I don't know. Who's deep? You already said who was it?
I picked my spirit animal. It's Walker. He's definitely. Yeah. I would like nothing more than to play hard and work hard all the time. As a matter of fact, I do. I don't want that hard actually, but yes.
Alex Sand has tomorrow. He says, I will share this video with the headline "Nerds at Work" in my UX class.
That's okay. Nice. I embrace it.
I own that. I fully embrace that. Yes.
I love it.
Yes, exactly.
How can you not geek out about UX and Animal Crossing. It's just, there's just so much there.
It's impossible. It's you just got to do it. And you know, Jess and I in particular, we like to nerd out hard on all the things that we enjoy. Not just Animal Crossing. You know, Jess and I enjoy many of the same. We nerd out about many of the same things.
Oh, a lot of things. Yes.
So that's a whole, like, we got days worth of streaming material here. Just when it comes to our passions and our, you know, our things that we're into.
This segment, Animal Crossing.
No, this is where we're at today. So we're gonna take and we're gonna copy Pietro here, and we're gonna pull him over here. I actually, hold on a second. I want to see. Okay, I've got one more thing I'm gonna try and do here. Okay. Let me see if I can find this, because well, it's gonna take me a minute to find it now.
I have no idea what you're
so basically, I found a site that had all of the models, but not only, it didn't just have one view of the model. Yes. Like, so Pietro, it actually had like a different pose. And so what would be fun here is if you were here and Pietro had like a different pose is what I'm thinking.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, hold on a second. Where is he? There, he's almost here. Where did he go? Also, the goth sheep is, oh no, it's kind of, it's a little boring. It's just a side turn. Some of the other ones had like, they're like dancing. They're looking very whimsical.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So, and then we're gonna do like a little like table here. That's what I'm thinking. So let me just basically, we're going to copy some of this information here.
Yep. 10 minutes till the portfolio review, everyone. If you have any questions before we switch to portfolios, you know, throw them in the chat now. If you want to see something happen again, if you want to ask us why we did a thing, we are here, happy to tell you anything and everything you'd like to know.
Or you have any questions about XD? Again, that's Jess and I's day job is you know, designing and you know, designing XD itself.
Yes. So, and we have some of our lovely talented folks in the chat too. I saw them lurking earlier. Yes. So
Lars and Ryan were there. So definitely and let us know what questions you have. So okay. And actually, I'm going to show off another feature here in a second. Ooh-hoo. One of the new ones again.
Species. Howard. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, no.
Howard's always got to ask.
He's always got to ask. It's okay. It's all good. I love it. All right.
Okay.
So it looks like you are making a little information card. Is that what you're doing?
I'm going to make a little information card here.
Okay.
For Pietro. It might be something. What's that?
I was going to say, when you look at, you ever have that thing where you look at a word and then you keep looking at it, and then after a while, it just feels like it's like not correctly spelled. But it's like me right now. I'm looking at species, and I'm just like,
I feel that. Okay, we need a little divider here.
We also, by the way, as much as we're doing portfolio review, also very much welcome portfolio critiques. So this is our portfolio. So if you have any critiques, feel free to share them.
Yeah.
For example, if you don't like the colors that we're using, or if you think that the typography should be different, we love hearing that as well. This is a group effort.
I'm being pretty faithful, you know, here. But if you have any suggestions, like I have sort of our little inspiration point, you know, being, you know, Animal Crossing itself, but we're not beholden to that. We're gonna riff on that. We're gonna, you know, we're gonna take some liberties here. Okay.
Look at that repeat grid.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Time saver.
Time saver. Okay, where's my Pietro card here? Oh, yeah, his birthday.
Oh, April 19th. So what does that make him? What is that horoscope? Aries?
Yeah,
Maybe?
yeah. Which makes a ton of sense. Amazing.
Because he's a Ram.
Amazing.
Wow.
Mind blown.
Now I want to look at I want to see all the horses now and see if they have Sagittarius or something as theirs.
Oh, I'm sure one of them is
As
definitely.
As an aside, because you probably don't know this, chat, both Tal and I are very obsessed with things like Greek mythology as well. So there's a deep level of meta nerddom that's going into here.
This is true.
That's brilliant, though. I love his birthday. It's great.
All right. Birthday. What else do we want? Yeah, personality.
Oh, designer's worst nightmare.
Oh, this is so true.
The content is exceeding the box. Therefore, I will make the box bigger.
Make the box bigger. Okay.
Awesome. Everyone has 4 minutes and 42 seconds now and counting to submit their portfolio. So make sure you get them in. Even if it's a work in progress, we want to see it. His personality is sheep. Really?
No, I'm just joking.
Oh, I was like, what is that? That's deep. Sheep.
No. Smug. Sheep are kind of smug.
What? Is this from personal experience? You like ran into a sheep and you're like, you know what?
Yeah, just thought it was too good. Too good for us.
I see. You know which animal? It's pigeons. They're a little smug.
The pigeons are. You're completely right. Pigeons are smug.
Pigeons are smug.
Did you know that all pigeons, particularly all over the world, actually, except for the true wild ones, are all domesticated? They're actually all feral, technically. Because
wait, you said this once. I don't remember till now.
Yes. Pigeons are technically feral animals, right? They're domesticated animals that are now wild, because thousands of years ago, humans domesticated pigeons as a food source, as like basically livestock. And then once chicken production got really you grow a chicken really fast, everybody just let their pigeons go. The pigeons that they kept for food and livestock.
Well, welcome for tuning in to the Adobe Live show with special guest Talin, who does part-time National Geographic moonlighting and tells you about feral pigeons.
Yeah, look at that. Didn't think you were going to be... you
didn't think you'd be learning about feral pigeons, did you?
Nope.
Learning about Animal Crossing, XD, and feral pigeons.
Yep.
Yes. And Chris is asking, before Chris, actually, so Ronnie says, will this be happening basically tomorrow? Yes, there is a part 2. If you can take more of us here and us clearly having a good time with this stuff, we will be back at the same time from 12 to 2 Pacific time, talking about all the things, working on this prototype, which will help you find not only yourself, but other people who play Animal Crossing.
Yep.
Yes. And Chris is asking, Mr. Talin, as a principal designer, what parts of XD do you still design?
Very, very good question. Yes. What is it would you say I do here, Jess?
What?
No. So I'm usually, it's weird. I have not probably worked on a feature that has a deadline. Like I need to deliver these designs to developers in a while. That's not really my role. My role more is to help look kind of like where XD is going. Things that might show up in XD, like in the next 8 months, next year, next 2 years, next 3 years. That's really where I spend a lot of my time day to day, as well as also like basically just growing the team. You know, Jess and I are lucky enough to work with just a phenomenal set of designers.
You're so amazing.
And a lot of what Jess and I do every day is actually help them and encourage them and create space for them to do great work. And take the principles, that we laid down in XD from the earliest days, and we've continued to evolve as a team and really kind of help them kind of own that, kind of take up that mantle. Yes. And, you're seeing the great work of one of our designers, Jolt Insa from the Romania team with the work in stacks. Yes. You're seeing him. I mean, again, he just really did an amazing job.
Heart and soul.
Yeah. Just put everything into it and has created such an amazing feature out of it. And again, like our job now, my job now is to help, grow the rest of the amazing talent that we have on the team. And I did work on something though that I started as a little side project. I can't show you yet. It is on my machine.
Cool.
I got to work with my good friend Anirudh, who's the principal scientist on XD. He and I were part of the team that started, on XD back in a couple of years ago, and he and I worked on a little something before Max last year that is now going to be inside of XD.
You heard it here first, but you don't know know at all what we're talking about.
I don't even think you'd be able to guess. I would. I
feel like
I wouldn't tell you if you got it right, anyways. But
I feel like people will come back to this stream and be like, hints. But that's as far as I'll go there.
Yes. So I'm pretty excited about that. So, but again, I worked on like an early prototype version of that, and then as a way to again kind of keep thinking about what's possible in XD and really pushing that forward and pushing. That's really where I spend a lot of my time. Howard knows.
Howard does know.
Howard knows.
He's on the inside. All right. And if you think that we should be working on something, also feel free to put it in the chat, because we love hearing what folks think we should work on.
We do. And one of the things that we love doing is talking with designers, hearing about what things they're running into in their work, feature ideas that, Chris is always, he slacked me one. He actually tweeted one the other day that I thought was really great, that we were kind of riffing on a little bit. So we always love hearing what you all think. So I don't have the full sort of card here, but I know we're getting close to time to review portfolios, right?
Yeah, but let's take a look at what you've got.
Okay. So here, all right. So here we have, I almost want this to I don't know, we'll figure out something cool to do with this. So here's what, actually, I'm going to show off one other, of course, really amazing feature, that we shipped recently. So what I'm going to do is select this here, and I am going to, again, now that we've sort of got this up and going, what if I wanted to kind of rearrange these, right? I have to go in and I have to, select them and kind of move them around manually. But what I want to do now is I actually want to use stacks feature. I actually want to see how this comes out. So what I want to do is I want to be able to create a stack. So enable in layout, in the responsive layout section, I'm going to enable stacks basically. And I want, whoa, that just kind of went crazy there. Let me do this again. So I'm going to quickly group these here. And what I want to do is I want to create a stack out of this. So now I've turned the stacks on. So now I can actually take and, what happened there? Did I not do it? That way, group that, then turn on stacks. There we go. So now what I can do is I've now turned on stacks. Let's turn on vertical stacks. And now I can actually go and rearrange these however I want. It's so I go double click in here. Oh, what happened? Not selecting the right thing. There we go. So it's a really easy way for me to just rearrange this. I can also control the spacing between them. If I wanted to actually control now the spacing kind of between these elements. Actually, instead of doing one card, I can actually go in there and change the spacing kind of between them.
And they don't have to be
Super
the same,
handy.
right? Which is
No, they don't have to be
definitely
the same.
something, it took us, you know, a little bit of engineering feat to figure this one out, but it's definitely very unique to XD in that you can just adjust them all different spacing, which is awesome as well.
Really exciting stuff. So seeing now I can actually go and swap them, and it maintains again the spacing, you know, between two elements. See where I have this big gap here. If I go and I select this one and I drag it up to replace the other one, right there. And you see the first line and the second line maintain their spacing, and when I drop the third line on there again, like this spacing is maintained. So that's super, super exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Talin, for all the lovely entertainment, fun facts about pigeons, and and a little bit of a deep dive into your inner soul of Animal Crossing here. We are now ready to do some portfolio reviews.
Exciting stuff.
Let me go ahead and hit buttons. One moment. I think that you need to, I need to hit a button. No.
Oh no, kidding. Did I? No, I know.
I got it.
Oh no.
Okay.
That's what it was.
You know.
Are we back?
There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now then. So.
Okay, now that's what it was.
We should be able to see two lovely portfolios that we'll be reviewing. And so maybe before we get into the details, you know, just some high level kind of thoughts, because, you know, last time actually we did an event, and this comes up a lot, which is when you even land on the first page, how do you kind of know what to look at, right? And everyone's got a little bit of a different sort of approach to it. Like, Talin, would love to hear what you think and what you do here. For me, when I look at portfolios, you know, I kind of do a first 5-second sort of look and see, you know, what are the things that really resonate with the type of work that, you know, our team is trying to explore. And that'll be different. You know, maybe if you're like a mobile design app designer, you want to see things that are mobile related. Or if you are a bold brand and you want to see a lot of that boldness come out and you want a similar kind of synergy there. So I definitely will do like a 5-second quick look and then just kind of pick the one that resonates closest to what I think matches the team. But I also, and I've said this in past streams, I tend to also pick a wild card. So, you know, especially, we'll go to the second one in a bit, but especially if you have multiple portfolio works, which is often the case with a lot of folks, people have a tendency to put their worst, their oldest work at the bottom. And I have a tendency to look for that one. And so, and the reason why I do that is because I usually just want to see what you're willing to put at the bottom. And then if it is typically that sort of, you know, older piece that you're trying to hide, I like to see the growth between your most flashy and recent work as well as where you were. And so, because that's a big factor in terms of hiring people, right? It's not just what you can do as a designer, but also, you know, your potential for growing and pushing yourself to be the best you. So.
Yeah, you know, I mean, public-facing portfolios, I think, always have this challenge, right? Because when you are, I think, applying for a job and you're sending along your portfolio, you know, you're really telling a story. You know, you're really wanting to, you know, kind of show that you're thinking really, you know, critically about kind of like the role itself and kind of what you would like to, how you would like to see yourself in that role. And so you really do tailor, you know, your portfolio, you know, to that role. And so, you know, public facing portfolios, again, anyone can access it. You might send the link around to multiple employers. And so it's hard, I think, I think it's probably the hardest messages sort of to craft, right? And so you really want to be thinking about the message that you're telling, that you're giving, you know, to those potential viewers. And you want to make sure that, again, it's a good match for those prospective employers that you are applying to. And so, you know, I have gone through in the past and actually called out work that, again, no longer sort of fit the story I was trying to tell. You know, with my sort of more public-facing portfolio. And then, of course, the jobs that I was going for, again, I ensured that, like, I made sure that, like, that everything I was showing was really, again, telling why I would be great, you know, for that prospective role.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Awesome. And I just saw Howard singing the theme song to Pokemon. It just shows another level of my nerddom in that I can recognize that just threw his little comment. So anyway, on to the portfolio. So Pranav, thank you for sharing your portfolio for us all to look at. Awesome. So Pranav has some great profiles across Twitter, Dribble, LinkedIn, and such, which is great. Oh my gosh, this kind of looks like a Pokeball. Now I can't unsee it. And I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one, Talin. What do you think? The blue one?
Yeah, let's go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely stands out.
Yes.
And like you think you want to bring all of your visual skills to bear when you're, crafting your portfolio. Like contrast matters. Again, subtly, those subtle cues are actually going to drive people to things that and maybe you don't expect them to go there first, or you don't want that piece to be reflective of all of your abilities. So again, be thinking about contrast and layout and all the tools that you utilize as a designer to design these screens. Apply them to how you design your portfolio too, again, no matter what platform you're using.
Yes. And so looks like this is the centerpiece of this piece. And the reason why I picked it, Pranav, is because for us anyway, looking at user flows is really important. And so kind of balancing existing patterns such as a creation account, welcome back account, may seem like a simple thing, but it's very telling in terms of the type of things you're thinking about, how systematic you're looking at a problem, how well you kind of connect the brand and the visual feel and a lot of that into the experience, how you make decisions on information architecture and prioritize what the user will see in a kind of complicated sort of set of patterns here. So we've got create account, welcome back. We also have some interesting elements here, such as, this is really interesting. If this is actually your email, that is very clever as an Easter egg to remind folks of how to reach you. And then a password, there is a box that says, I agree with the terms and conditions. There's a sign up along with having an account. There's also a single sign-on experience, which is really nice to see with the Facebook, Twitter, and Google. So first things first, you saw me scroll a little bit. I do typically like to see a bit of a narrative. So understanding kind of, where you think the problem it is that you need to solve for is. So nothing too big. A lot of people have recently been asking around how much case study do I give? And I have to say some people have gone pretty extreme with the novels. I do think that there's a fine balance in the person who's looking at your portfolio being able to get the gist of it relatively quickly, right? Kind of like that elevator pitch. So I'll just say a couple things, and then Talin, maybe you can say a couple things. I do love the integration of the illustrations on top. I'm pretty sure it's one of my favorite plugins. It's Undraw that's being used in there, but maybe not. I do also like the clear kind of contrast of seeing the create an account and welcome back labels. Makes it really easy for the user to know right away what to look at. One interesting thing from a UI element standpoint is potentially creating a bit more contrast with the create an account and welcome back typography. I would say either explore maybe making it even a heavier weight so as to really stand out with that kind of very prominent white background illustration on top. And the illustrations say a lot, right? And so there's a little bit of slanting to them. They're not exactly confined to straight linear sort of experiences. And so this typography kind of feels a bit more like that. So maybe trying to find a type that kind of couples with that sort of feel. All caps is not always easy to read. So I would consider for writing emails or names to consider a sentence case just to kind of help with easy readability when you're typing. And then the last thing I'll just say is it does visually look nice to have the sign up button on the bottom, but it with the kind of subtle sort of blue, but I might suggest upping the contrast there, as the most important thing at the end of the day for this experience would be to have the user hit the button and go ahead and sign in or create an account. How about you, Town?
Yeah, I mean, sign up, sign in are one of the biggest roadblocks to helping people get in the door and into your service and or product.
Yep.
So I think it is one of the most critical. And as Jess was stating, right there could be potentially even a handful of scenarios that might bring people back to this screen. And again, your goal is to hopefully try and assess wherever they're coming from to then get them in and help them be successful. And so I think there is a more complex story going on here. And I think, showing the relationship, are these Again, are these alternates? Again, makes me think about, how did I get to one and not the other? Like, what are those user scenarios that got me here? I think showing the relationship between these two screens, are they a flow again, or are they alternates? Like, how the relationship, I think, is super important again, because these are very complex scenarios. And so I think I'd like to see a little bit more of the relationship between there. And going back to kind of just for a second, like setting the stage and giving me the context. Jess, you mentioned like, are those might be from Undraw, and the style might say that they are, but part of me thinks that Pranav may have done them himself.
Yes.
And so I think that's something that if you did do that and you are representing that, it's important to say it up front. And
that's a really good point, Talin.
Right.
Yes.
And of course, if they're not, again, also important to call out, kind of one way or another. One of the things that always kind of drove me a little crazy, because again, it was a lot of work. But when I was in school, we had to produce all our own work. It wasn't if we were going to use an illustration, or we were going to use photography, we better make sure that we were the ones creating and supplying, that content, whatever it is. And so it's just something I think that everybody should always be careful of, is making sure that the work that you're representing is your work, that you're clear on kind of what you did, or where you collaborated. That's super important, again, because you want people to understand kind of what your skill set is. And this is an area where you could highlight, if you did do the illustrations, and you could highlight. So I think it's, again, just a little more context here, I think would help this a lot. I think visually it's very strong, and the details and the nuances, of the visual design, particularly the typography, I think could use a little more finessing. And also, one thing to be aware of here, and just you kind of mentioned it with the subtlety of the button, but I'd also use this as an opportunity to maybe apply, some kind of standard of accessibility here as well. And if you could, those are the types of details that for people who are, looking for it, will recognize it and say, oh, this person is aware of accessibility, again, without even you calling it out. They would, someone who would be looking for that in your work, and would find that would actually probably raise you to the top if you said, to yourself, like, actually, I'm going to take accessibility seriously. I'm going to make sure these color contrasts are correct. I'm going to make sure that the type is legible.
Exactly.
Or the order in which this is being read can be read by whether it's a screen reader or other accessibility features. Like, this is a little thing, the little details that can just bump you up above that other candidate. So I think in more context here, a little more work on the details, I think could help just make this piece stronger.
Yep. And then Lisa in chat did point out one more thing, which I'll also call out, is when you have less in your portfolio, the details matter actually that much more. And so, back to my point of systems thinking and user flows and all those things, you are creating two separate workflows here. And so you are using patterns that go across both in a consistent manner. However, they are very different flows. And so to the point of, what is that transition if you aren't the user that's signing up, but you are the user that's signing in, you do have helpful text to help users go to the version that is to sign in. However, you then need to go back and make it consistent the other way around, right? So just some little things like that. Final note before we move on, I'll just say this is, personally, I'm a fan of less is more just across the board. And so, you have these boxes that really kind of show you the input fields. And I actually do love this kind of style in general, like the whole text and the line thing. It's great. However, in this case, it may be detrimental in that it's taking away from the focus of those input fields and users knowing exactly where they need to interact with that interface. So just some food for thoughts. Thank you so much for sharing your portfolio and allowing us to look at this. Super great stuff to see, though.
Great work, Pranav.
Awesome. All right, so let's look at our other portfolio submitter, who is Reshma, also from Arlington. Really nice job adding your quick history. That's super helpful. Always, again, to the point of people who are just kind of like me, like just looking at a portfolio real quick. Having the information I need at my fingertips is very, very important. And so it's great to see that. And then a little bit about you. It's really, really great. Okay, so I picked the last one, Talin. How about you pick one?
I think
I'll keep scrolling too.
We're going to be we're coming from a UX UI context. So I definitely want to see kind of a project that is representative of those skills. Some of these might look like they might be a little more tailored to identity work, which is great. Again, it's super important to have in there. But again, my context and Jess's context as we're coming in, it was that we are going to be looking for those UX UI projects. I want to maybe look at that saucepan one.
The saucepan. This one?
Yeah. The reason why, I visually like the one in the top left, but again, the thing, and I mentioned this on Pranav's, is that we want to make sure that the work that we're representing is our work. And, photography is very eye-catching and can really attract people, into the project. But I want to let's make sure that we're if we've done that work, we're representing it in that way. If we're not, again, making sure that in our professional portfolios that we are being very cautious of representing, again, possibly other people's work and kind of relying on our work, kind of carrying our work, right? So this one I'm attracted to mainly because it focuses on the UI. It looked like there's maybe some illustration work in here. So this is the one that I think I gravitated towards mainly as a way to kind of see, again, like distinguish like what is Reshma's work versus what is just good looking photography.
Yes. So we basically have some packaging here. We've got some more packaging. Packaging design. This is the screenshot that you saw.
Gotcha. This is what looked like UI to me. I wasn't entirely sure.
It was really interesting though, right? Because for you, when you saw this thing, it did make you think it was potentially a app, which is really interesting.
Possibly, yes. Yeah.
Which is a good thing to think about when you look at the representative thumbnail, which will be the thing to show, right? It's just making sure that doesn't do what happened with Talin, which is like, throws you for a loop on that one, which is interesting.
Really nice illustration work.
Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Really consistent system, colors, type. The system and then being applied to the box, I think it is really nice. Again, systematic thinking is definitely one of the things that I look for, because I think that really differentiates. As I was even talking about how I was setting up XD to start working in that file, thinking systematically is one of those signifiers of someone who has had experience in applying a system across kind of a range of surfaces, whether that be multiple screens as part of a digital project, or physical here applied to across the packaging on this project as well. So definitely, again, I think that always kind of sets the user from an experience side. It actually sets them a little bit above, is that systematic thinking, that use and application of those system elements right across a variety of surfaces.
Yeah. So this is an interesting one, right? Because sometimes as a portfolio reviewer, you are trying to look for the piece that gives you the best idea of whether this person is a good fit. In this case, this is a great show of your illustration abilities, which is awesome. And the setup is really great in that you've got the project overview, you have some pretty great contrast and captivating photography. And then obviously it goes to show through that systematic thinking with the different projects that you have. So overall, great stuff. I am going to just quickly for a second though, due to time, also hop into an app because that is kind of our specialization. So I just picked one randomly.
Excellent. Awesome.
So yeah. All right. So here we have an icon folio, which kind of shows the different kind of icons that's in this education path. I'm going to scroll down and showing a bit more of that illustration savviness, which is really cool.
It's really nice. Really nice.
I mean, clearly one of your strengths here is your ability to express, symbols in a very kind of demonstrative way. And that's really, really awesome. Showing it across different sort of surfaces is really great. Again, to that systematic point of being able to demonstrate the use of something across multiple surfaces. We now live in a world where seeing things in one place is no longer the use case, right? Designers are designing across multiple screens, which is great. So going back to the top. So I would say one quick thing about this one, actually, since we did click on the other one, is that the previous portfolio piece had a setup. I think what's really interesting about a multidisciplinary portfolios is that the reviewer has no idea that you're a multidisciplinary designer. And so it's always helpful to find ways to clue them in instantly on what they're about to see as your strength. Your strength in both of these pieces was that illustration, right? And it's very beautiful, it's very lovely. But you're using mixed sort of disciplines to kind of demonstrate that. In the other piece, you were showing a portfolio packaging thing, but it took a couple clicks for us to really realize like where this was going, right? The context of it. And same goes here, because I actually just clicked on the first thing I thought looked like a mobile icon, but we're looking at actually the iconography and the implementation of that across multiple surfaces. Still relevant, by the way, but something that would help with that setup would be valuable. Like here is an illustration series that's systematically used across multiple channels, whether it be a mobile app, whether it be a website, and it is used as sort of visual communications to help users, do the thing they need to do. In this case, it's guiding them through a very simple flow. And the illustrations essentially anchor the user in being able to find the specific things that they're looking for in here. So, Talin, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just second the context. Starting and telling the story. Really defining your role. On the project, and
Yes.
that can really help. Again, people who are viewing this and really coming to this pretty fresh. Again, being clear about the collaborators, like those are all really important things, and that shows a level of professionalism, right? In the work. So it's great. And I really like, I think overall what I like is I like the depth of these projects. It's showing, again, the application across a variety of surfaces. It's showing, how the visual system can be applied and can shift and change and grow. Again, I think a lot of these, again, I think what you're showing in the systematic thinking is that there's a lot of possibilities, and then there's a depth here to the thinking and the application of it. And I think that's great here. And I think, again, it's just some of the details here, a little more of the storytelling. I think you focus on that. That'd really just up the level of your portfolio kind of across the board. So
awesome. Well, and that's it for our portfolio reviews today. So thank you for submitting them. And again, we are going to be here tomorrow. So today just to recap, went through a beautiful flurry of Animal Crossing XD-ness, showed off some of our newest features we just released, including stacks, scroll groups. If you want to catch up on all those things, not only visit Howard's stream to learn about all the tips and tricks, but you can also visit the XD website to find all of the latest updates that we do on a monthly basis. Also, tomorrow we're going to be doing daily creative challenge reviews. So if you are interested in participating, just go to the Discord channel for current challenge, and we will definitely be taking a look and seeing how you use scroll groups to design a map experience. So
cool.
All
right.
Thanks for
Thank you, everyone.
See you all tomorrow.
All right.